Now then, people, it's Joe, it's all Leeds TV, and it's time for your Leeds versus Leicester pre-match chat. Sorry for the late upload. It's been a busy week, many things going on, and Halloween was yesterday, of course, as well. Happy Halloween and all that jazz. Before we get into the video, please smash a like, share, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts ahead of Leicester at home on Monday night, under the lights. Can't wait for this game. Look, Leicester have had a bit of an indifferent start to the season for me. They get wins against City 5-2. They win away at Arsenal 1-0. Jamie Vardy comes off the bench. I think he scored 11 in 12 or 12 in 13 against Arsenal. And then they've had losses against West Ham and Villa. Now, I know you hear me say, yeah, that is quite an indifferent start. However, they are 6th with 2 more points than Leeds United. So for an indifferent start, they're not doing that good, that bad, are they, really? And as a Leeds United fan, I look where I hope that our team will land towards the end of the season. And I see us competing with the likes of Leicester, etc., chasing down that top 6, chasing down them European spots, like we did against Wolves. You know, we didn't win that game, unfortunately, but we were unlucky. We deserve more than 0 points, let's put it that way. A point would have been a fair result. And I look at this Leicester team and this Leicester game, and that's no disrespect to them, because I think they're a great individual. I'm really, I guess, I just know the capabilities of this Leeds United team. It's more about the sum of its parts than the individuals, side before self. But I know under Bielsa, this season we can do bits. I genuinely believe that. And I look at Leicester and see, these are the teams that we want to be beating because we're going to be fighting with them come the end of the season. Leicester City fans watching this, opposing fans watching this might think this guy's talking out of his arse. But we'll see come the end of the season. I genuinely believe we'll be there or thereabouts fighting with the likes of Leicester. So, yeah, I said an indifferent start. They've actually got 2 more points than us and sitting 6th. Leicester's going to be an interesting proposition. I honestly can't tell you how it's going to go. I was much like that against Wolves. You know, I actually see Brendan Rodgers. He's tactically astute. I do rate Rodgers. He'll love this matchup. Going up against Bielsa, he's come out in the press and said some very positive things that he used to look at him during his early coaching career, whilst at Chelsea maybe, or in the early stages of his time at Swansea. But it's going to be interesting to see how the game pans out. I personally feel that Leicester do better against teams when playing that counter-attacking style, you know, when they're not having to break teams down, when they can use the full array of Jamie Vardy's talents when he's got space to run into in behind. And like Brendan Rodgers said, Leeds United are going to give him space. We are, guys. We'll see a lot of the ball, more than what Leicester will, for me personally. And I think Rodgers will set them up like that. I think he'll go with 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and obviously the likely lads, you know, in front of that, the likes of Tielemans, Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy will be looking to catch us and get away as quick as they can. So for me, it's vital we stop the likes of Maddison and Tielemans getting that ball to a Barnes, you know, running alongside Vardy over the top, past to Cooper. He'll be sat on Cooper's shoulder all day for me, will Jamie Vardy. But I fully expect that they will set up with the 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs. Obviously, Ricardo Pereira's out. I believe Castagna's been playing out on the right, and I know Leicester City fans can't wait to see both him and Pereira actually in the same side together, but I think it's Justin now who's been playing on the left, Castagna on the right. The centre-backs, I believe, obviously, Soyuncu is a massive loss for them. You'll have Johnny Evans in there, which, come on, man, he's so experienced and he's a top-level centre-back for me. They will be hard to break down. Alongside him, you will have Christian Fuchs, who's been there, done it, you know, Premier League winner, let's not forget that. And young 19-year-old Fofana, I've not actually had the luxury of seeing him play in the flesh or on TV. Not in the flesh, none of us have, but on TV. But I've heard a lot about him. You know, we did before the whistle blows. I asked Locks to discuss about him as well. He was only 19, brought him for 30 million. Maybe wouldn't have seen him as early as they have, but it's a big price tag for a lad of his age. You know, bearing in mind, we paid less for Rodrigo. We paid less than half of that for Robin Koch. So he's got a big price tag, especially for a 19-year-old. But apparently, he's coming. As I said, I've not seen him, but from what I'm hearing, he has looked absolutely amazing. There's not any flaws to his game as such. So I'm really excited to see how Fofana gets on. I think it's going to be tough for Paddy Bamford if we cannot play vital balls. I want to see balls the likes of Rodrigo when he plays the reverse pass to Costa, the likes of Rafinha when he cut out about 5 or 6 men, half the bloody football team, to cross it out to Harrison along the floor on the left. They're the type of balls I don't want to repeat at Wolves, where we're just peppering the box and it's just been mopped up all day. This time, not by Bolly and Cody, but by Evans and Fuchs and Fofana. You know, the first goal in this game for me is so vital as well, because if we get it, then Brendan Rodgers will have to adopt his style and come out and play. And if they come out and play, then Leeds can get them again. You know, there might be Leicester City fans looking at this, and maybe when they're up against better quality of opposition, like Man City, like Arsenal, they play that more reserved style of play. They play that more defensive style of play because they're up against a more quality opposition. Now, you might be thinking, well, we're not better than them sides. You know, quality individually, we're nowhere near. But the way we play, I genuinely feel that Rodgers will adopt this style of play, and fair play if he does, you know, because it's going to get to a stage where Premier League teams are going to have to change their style slightly to come up against this Leeds United side, you know. I've said it, I've started saying it already. There'll come a point where people think, right, what's the best thing to do here is to sit in, do a Wolves, you know, sit in and have a go second half, you know, get Jamie Vardy on the fly in the second half. That's what they'll do. I think Jamie Vardy's going to be sat on the shoulder of Liam Cooper and Robin Cook all day. And he'll just look for them balls from Maddison, from Tielemans. Once they get it from the, you know, the back line, they'll be looking to send Jamie Vardy on his way. And, of course, Harvey Barnes can easily join the attack as well from the left. We all know about Harvey Barnes. We've seen what he did to us at West Brom. He was absolutely electric. And we couldn't deal with him that day. I think he scored 2 goals and set one up. He was absolutely unreal when they battered us, if you remember. I think it was 4-1. My mind's not the best. But yeah, Jamie Vardy, Golden Boot winner, you know. He's a top-level operator. He doesn't get enough respect for me in world football, I guess, you know. English, we can appreciate him, but he doesn't get the respect that he deserves for me, if I'm being totally honest, you know. Golden Boot winner last season, lest we forget. From a Leeds perspective, guys, I mean, look, Liam Cooper's going to be fit to play. That means, for me, Luke Ayling is going to be backing at right back. He'd probably do a man-marking job on Harvey Barnes, and I'd prefer Luke Ayling on that right-back position, in his further position, although he was absolutely unreal at centre-back. But let's get Captain Cooper back in the side. There will only be 2 absentees, Llorente and Phillips. Of course, Forshaw's out as well, but he's a bit like a forgotten man. We don't know when he's going to come back. But from the immediate starting team, we've still got Phillips and Llorente out. Llorente, unfortunately, we've not had a chance to see yet. I can't wait to see him. But Captain Cooper will be back in the side alongside Robin Koch. Dallas back out on the left. Depends. If Maddison is fit to play, it's a different prospect to as if Ayoze Perez plays, because I'm not sure Maddison's going to be like a Harvey Barnes, you know, joining alongside Vardy. He's going to look to get on the ball and maybe play more centrally, in off the right, a little bit like Pablo, possibly. I may be wrong. Leicester fans can tell me in the comments. So I expect us to go back to that normal back line. I think Pascal Struijk will play as well. Although Bielsa, and it's the first time really he's ever said this for me, he said any 11 from 22 players could make the starting lineup. And that's fantastic to hear, because that shows me every 22 players that he's mentioned in that group there, in that group that's ready for Premier League football, any of them can start. Any of them he's happy with, you know. He's willing to throw any of them in, like we've seen with Jamie Shack, etc. in the last game, you know. Like we've seen with Rodrigo starting straight away. Like we've seen with Rafinha. Normally when Bielsa brings players in, we've had to wait a period of time. Not anymore, because the quality, they're coming in, they're already Bielsa ready. You know, they're all ready for Bielsa ball. So hearing that for me was really, really refreshing to hear him say any 11 of the 22 that I have available could go into that side. Absolutely unreal. For me personally, I would keep it the same. Well, I wouldn't say keep it the same, but Meslier, Ayling right back, Cooper and Koch, left back, Stuart Dallas, Pascal Struijk in front. The only change I would make, genuinely, I would leave Rodrigo, I would leave Click, I would leave Harrison. Of course, Paddy Bamford, absolutely electric form. For me, I would swap Costa. I haven't been overawed by his performances so far this season, and I thought he wasn't great against Villa. Some people may disagree, but he lost the ball for the Grealish run, you know, that one where they'd have creamed over for years. What a goal, but never was, so let's forget about it. He lost it there for me and didn't really track back in time. He also could have easily given a penalty when he came in. I know it was a dive. I know it wasn't given by VAR, but it was a little bit rash. So for me, I would like to see Rafinha, and maybe there's a little bit of, because I want to see Rafinha from the start, because he looks absolutely unreal. He looked amazing in the under-23s. I know it's the only under-23s, but he looked a class apart. And each time he's come on, he's looked dangerous. He's looked absolutely dangerous. Against Wolves, when he came on, he played the best ball into the box. You know, when he came on against Villa, he's played one of the best passes that I've ever seen in Leeds United player do. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because it was absolutely nectar. I absolutely love that. So I'd like to see Rafinha start. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, the game for me is so important for the first goal. You know, we're going to come out flying out of the blocks, and teams struggle to cope with us in that early parts. What we need to see is a repeat of Aston Villa and not Wolves. That's the difference. If we don't score early and we go 0-0 at half-time, we need to ensure that we have a Villa-esque performance and not a Wolves-esque performance where we let them come into the game. But mark my words, be wary of Jamie Vardy. He loves running into space, and Leeds United are going to give him space. You know, the best way to deal with Jamie Vardy is to play deep, you know, like a West Ham, you know, like they did. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Bielsa's not going to change his methods and come out and just say, right, just play deep because Jamie Vardy's playing. It's not happening, you know. I genuinely think we'll be high up the pitch as per, and we may get caught out at times. But hopefully we'll already be in front by that point. Do you see what I'm saying? We need to be wary of Jamie Vardy, and the key to stopping him is stopping the balls from Tielemans and Maddison to Vardy. You know, he likes to prey on the weaker centre-back. I look at Liam Cooper, and maybe he's the weaker of the two in terms of pace, turn of pace, you know. Maybe he looks and sits on his shoulder all day and just thinks, right, when you get that ball, boys, bang it into that space because I'm away. I'm away. And Meslier needs to be aware of that as well and be ready to come off his line if needs be and meet him halfway. But we'll have to wait and see. The first goal is so important for me. No repeat of Wolves. Let's have a Villa-esque style performance and we can come away with 3 points. And what an amazing start that would be. You know, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And as always, you know, I think any of the relegation side, it's like, we just don't want to embarrass ourselves. We know that that's not going to happen now with Leeds United. You know, I said we could be on the end of a few hidings and we still might, but I'm slowly starting to think that that might not even happen. You know, I'm so proud of this Leeds United side and just so proud of how we've been applying ourselves in the Premier League since we have returned after 16 long years. And this is another great game. And it's a team that we need to be looking at and thinking, if my opinions are, I know there's some still out there who are like, nah, as long as we stay up, that's fine. I'm like that as well. But I think we can go one better. I think we can go one better. And I genuinely look how the land's lying in the Premier League. Yes, some of the big boys are now starting to get results, but it's still up there, open and in the air for me. And I see us challenging that top six. I do. And for us to be able to do that, we need to be beating Leicester, if that's a realistic possibility. Because we've lost to Wolves. If we were to lose to Leicester as well, maybe my thoughts are, okay, maybe 10th mid-table. I'm not sure. But I think we can be pushing that top six. So for me, we have to beat Leicester City, but it'll be no, you know, easy task. It'll be mean feat to do so. Rodgers is a wily old fox. He'll be, you know, ready and have them tactically ready, and he'll relish the opportunity coming up against Marcelo Bielsa. And of course, you know, we've to be wary of their threats as well. So I'm going to go for a Leeds United win. Of course, I am at home at Ellen Road. I think we're going to win the game 2-0. No. Check that, 2-1. Jamie Vardy will score, I think. When does he ever not score? Yeah, so, but I'm really excited for the game. Make sure you join us for the watch along as per. We'll be live from about 7:30. Make sure you check it out and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And please, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in a bit. Leeds.